The judiciary, as an arm of government, is responsible for interpreting the law and ensuring the rule of law is maintained. TVC News senior reporter Celestine Aria takes a look at major events that shaped the justice system since January 2024.
The judiciary in 2024 saw the end of a Chief Justice of Nigeria and the start of another dispensation under a new CJN. The arraignment of former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission dominated major headlines. Emefiele is facing charges in 3 different courts. Before Justice Hamza Mwazu of the FCC High Court in Maitama, he is facing a 20-count amended charge of alleged conferment of corrupt advantages, conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, forgery, and obtaining by false pretense to the tune of $6,230,000 United States dollars. Still at the FCT High Court in Maitama, before Justice Mariam Aneni, Mr. Emefiele is facing a 4-count charge of alleged disobedience to the direction of law and illegal acts causing injury to the public about the Naira redesign, where he allegedly printed 684 million Naira notes at a rate of 18 billion Naira. At the Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja, he is facing an alleged 26 counts of $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion Naira fraud. While the justices of the Supreme Court were overwhelmed with different appeals, signs of relief came. This was the swearing-in of 11 justices to the Supreme Court's bench. This brought the number of the justices at the Apex Court to 21, the first time in the history of the court to have its full complement of justices. On 11th July, the Supreme Court granted financial autonomy to local government. The court held that the retention of monies made for local government by state government is unconstitutional. After serving as the Chief Justice of Nigeria for 2 years, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola retired after attaining the age of 70 years. His retirement ushered in a new era for the country's judiciary, as his successor, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, is the second female Chief Justice the country will have. On 30th September, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun was sworn in as the 23rd Chief Justice of Nigeria. A few hours after being sworn in as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria, she inaugurated 87 lawyers to the rank of senior advocates.
It's a new dawn and a new era in the Nigerian judiciary. I want to assure my fellow Nigerian citizens that we are committed to working more diligently to improve public perception of the Nigerian judiciary.
The constitutionality surrounding the establishment of the EFCC became a subject of litigation at the Supreme Court. Kogi State initiated the suit, after which some other states joined. The plaintiffs had argued that the Supreme Court had in a previous decision held it was a UN Convention Against Corruption that was reduced into the EFCC Establishment Act, and in enacting this law in 2004, Section 12 of the Constitution was not followed. However, the Apex Court on 15th November ruled that the EFCC Act, which is not a treaty but a convention, does not need the ratification of the Houses of Assembly. 11 days after this judgment, the embattled former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello visited the headquarters of the EFCC and was arrested. His arrest came after 7 months of evading arrest. The EFCC said they had tried to serve him with the charges against him. Due to his absence from court, a warrant for his arrest had been issued by Justice Emeka Waite of the Federal High Court Abuja. The former governor is facing a 19-count charge of alleged money laundering to the tune of 80 billion Naira before Justice Waite. He was granted bail by the court in the sum of 500 million Naira and 2 sureties in like sum. The EFCC had also filed a 16-count charge of alleged money laundering to the tune of 110 billion Naira against the former governor before Justice Mariam Aneni of the FCT High Court in Maitama. He was arraigned on 27th November before Justice Aneni, a day after he was arrested. He was also granted bail by Justice Aneni. The former governor was remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center pending the perfection of his bail. Section 373 of the Nigerian Criminal Code defines a defamation or a defamatory matter as a matter likely to injure the reputation of another person by exposing him to hatred, contempt, or ridicule, or likely to damage any person in his profession or trade by any injury to his reputation. While some states are moving to decriminalize defamation, other states have not. A 12-count charge of alleged defamation was filed against human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi. He was accused of publishing a book, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System, where he alleged that Are Babalola, founder of Babalola University, corrupted the judiciary and procured judgment in the Supreme Court, thereby exposing the complaints to hatred, contempt, ridicule, and damage to his hard-earned career. He was arraigned before a federal high court in Ekiti, where he pled not guilty and was granted bail by the court. Shortly after, he was also sued by another senior lawyer, Adebayo Adenikpekun, at the Oyo State High Court in Ibadan, Oyo State. Court summoned Dele Farotimi to appear before it within 30 days of service. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.